Welcome to the DeVita Village Update, presented by the Dream Polaris News Network. Starring three-time Core Value Award-winning anchor Don Cranberry. Golden Net Award winner Chastity Beltmire. Corporate compliance expert Steele Jackson. With hard-hitting interviews from Angelica Blacksmith. Investigative reporter Biff Highwater. And our lady on the street, Miss Roxanne. Roxanne! It's the DeVita Village Update. Good evening, and welcome to Dream Polaris News. I'm Don Cranberry.
I'm Chastity Beltmire.
And I am Steele Jackson.
In our first story tonight, due to software issues, the first teammate onboarded into Workday finally began employment today.
In related news, IT released new and improved job aids to streamline the Workday process.
IT has also announced a new Falcon version, 36.4.2 beta. Enhancements include easy-to-navigate tabs, as well as a fix for the fix that didn't fix the other fixes. In related news, Falcon has now been renamed Phoenix, with the hopes that once this program crashes and burns, a phoenix will rise from its ashes. Other choices included Sparrow and Mockingbird.
We tried to reach IT for comment, but we're told the entire team was in an all-day meeting. However, we did receive an incident number.
In response to the progressive nature of Colorado's legislation, KT himself has embraced the changes, changing his theme song from old-time rock and roll to Rocky Mountain High.
In other news, insurance premiums are on the rise due to a mysterious spike in the number of glaucoma cases reported in the Denver area.
Additionally, questions have arisen at headquarters amidst changes in village branding. After a thorough investigation, it was found that all graphics are consistent, but it appears that the DeVita star is now just a little bit higher.
And now, with more news from village headquarters, we go to our corporate culture consultant, Miss Angelica Blacksmith. Hello, Angelica.
Mr. Bond, thank you for joining us. We were hoping to talk to you today about some of the recent changes at village headquarters. Mr. Bond?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been distracted. I've been doing this whole tweeter thing. I've been pound signing for the last hour.
You've been what signing?
You know, pound signing.
I think you mean hashtagging?
Hashtagging? What on earth is hashtagging?
Here's a video that would show what it would be like using hashtagging in everyday life.
Tina, what's up? Hey, not much, Gabby. Hashtag Outlook Overload, hashtag Kidney Smart, hashtag Home, PD, HHD. What's up with you?
It's been busy today, staying on top of reports. Hashtag DeVita Jail, hashtag Is It Friday Yet, hashtag Initiative Intimidation, hashtag Air Traffic Control.
Hey, check it out. My teammates made some cookies. Hashtag homemade. Hashtag potluck Thursdays. Hashtag breaking village vitality. Hashtag num 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 num. Hashtag I'm the real cookie monster.
Sweet, don't mind if I don't. Hashtag no judgment. It's very good, but I can't eat anymore. Hashtag my scrubs get tight.
Delicious, right? My clinical coordinator makes the best cookies. Hashtag DeVita did it all for the cookie.
Hashtag classic. By the way, did you read the most recent Cathlery report? Hashtag access, hashtag 12%, hashtag reports run my life. How many initiatives do we have now? Hashtag Village Insights, hashtag CBC One Stop Tool, hashtag OMG, hashtag Not the Ordering Program, hashtag Why Does Pioneer Hate Us? DaVita needs to upgrade, hashtag Let Me Upgrade, hashtag Beyonce got it right, hashtag Everybody Gets an iPad. We should totally get iPads now, don't you think?
Absolutely. Hashtag about time. Not about time for Beyonce, but about time for the iPads. Hashtag moving on up. Hashtag the Jeffersons are so funny. Hashtag I love Weezy.
I wonder what the village-wide theme is. Hashtag Life Decisions, hashtag Galaxy Shines Regardless.
Hashtag that's how we do. What about an international village-wide next year? Hashtag around the world. Hashtag 11 countries. Hashtag where in the world is Dennis Kogat? Hashtag village-wide Hawaii 2015.
Hashtag totally, hashtag put it on Avanti's budget. Come on in.
Hashtag get back to work.
Welcome back to Dream Polaxi News. And now it's time for a little segment we like to call Really. Really, there are a few things that we would really like to discuss.
In celebration of the 13th birthday of the village, the same songs from the past 13 years will be played again. Be our guest 13 times? Really?
Ken Theory was detained this week at Denver International Airport when his sword continually set off a metal detector. Really, KT? Keep your sword at home.
We would also like to wish Yoda a happy 150th birthday today.
Really? 150?
No, Yoda is actually 172.
In other aging news, KT has not aged a day in 15 years.
Really? He's been 30 since the year 2000?
Really?
Pioneer has begun work on another new initiative.
Really, Pioneer? Another new initiative?
And the international saline shortage continues.
Really? It's salt and water. It's the most abundant resource on planet Earth. Really?
And finally tonight, after being brought up over 400 times in town halls over the years, you asked, we did. It's official. In 2015, DaVita will officially implement a 401k match.
Really?
No, not really. And now, with some breaking news, we go live to our lady on the street, Miss Roxanne. Roxanne!
Good afternoon, this is Roxanne. Roxanne! Reporting live from the DC Kidney Walk. And I have two dialysis companies here with me today. No Name Dialysis and DaVita.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Thank you, Roxanne. However, we're not a dialysis company. We are a worldwide dialysis village.
Someone say dialysis? I think you did. Hey, we know plenty about treating patients.
Okay, well, let me tell you something about giving life.
We use DQY and it does not lie. That's quality you can't deny. When a patient walks in with CVC in place and hemoglobin in the 8s, we get started. Gotta educate quick cause you only got 90 days. Use an impact checklist and get that albumin up quick. And baby, I wanna work with you so you can get a fistula. Cause that's how we bring it on down to Vitaville.
So you think that makes you special or something?
Actually, we have some of the best clinical outcomes in the country. No brag, just fact.
Hey patients, we have lots of practice drawing blood cultures. We do it every day.
Well, what? Back up, dialysis man. We say bubble up, we're trying to create an infection-free zone over here. Let me introduce my peeps. Head, heart, and hands.
We live the core values and we think you should know. You ask your doctor and the Vita's a go. We value our patients and we stick to our mission. We are the provider of choice and that ain't superstition.
because that's how we bring it on down to Vitaville.
I think the patient's choice is clear.
Welcome back to Dream Polaxi News. You might notice that our investigative reporter, Mr. Michael, was unable to attend village-wide due to budget cuts. In other news, Pioneer is working on new initiatives, including Tour de Village-wide, in which teammates will be required to either ride bikes or hitchhike to the meeting. Special international teammates will be given additional consideration.
Mass confusion in Denver this morning. After investigating the event, it was found that the individual in charge of the air traffic control department had fallen asleep, causing a massive collision of initiatives within the company.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
This week, Alan Nissenson introduced a new and improved method for albumin management called the rhombic tranja.
Actually, Steele, what I believe you're referring to is the rhombic triacontrahedron. And you yourself can send your patient's albumin streaming into the fours in just 68 simple steps a day.
Really, only 68 steps. Steele can't even complete 12.
In an effort to keep up with the changing times, Chairside Snappy has been updated to version 2.0. This update will be more in line with the DaVita's tech-savvy approach to extensive documentation.
You're still on autoflow.
Thanks.
In response to outcries from new teammates, DaVita announced this week it will be adding a new language to its interpreting services. Going forward, new teammates may now select option 6 for DaVita Ease to find out what the hell everyone else is saying.
In the spirit of continuous improvement, DaVita Admissions has worked to minimize the criteria for placement. Going forward, the case manager's high school transcripts and credit statements will no longer be required to place a patient.
Dennis Kogod has now joined the admissions team. The Fast 4 admissions document has now been renamed the Fast 4 plus 2 plus 1 to the 4th power. Teammates who do not comply will be forced into submission.
And now, with some special news on what's going on in the growth within the village, we go to our Senior Vice President, Mr. Dave Mon. Welcome, Dave.